Give these items some careful, serious thought. An awful lot is at stake. 1. Imagine how you would feel if you knew for a fact that you'll never drink again, that your addiction is already ended, and you're free at last. 2. Notice your mixed feelings, A. Freedom and hope for a better life, and B. A sinking feeling related to total, lifetime abstinence. 3. That sinking feeling is your beast. The sense of liberation and relief is you. 4. Your beast talks in your thoughts. Your beast is your wild appetite for the high life, the desire to get high. 5. You can hear your beast sowing seeds of doubt that you can decide to never drink again and stick with it forever. That is your addictive voice. 6. Your addictive voice is any thinking that supports or suggests the possible future use of alcohol or other drugs. Your addictive voice is the sole cause of your addiction. Your beast speaks with awesome authority, but it is a mere desire, utterly powerless, a dependent quadriplegic unable to wiggle your fingers. 7. Your beast, A. organizes your thoughts, emotions, and perceptions to support your addiction forever, B. develops plans for continued drinking, using, and C. predicts a gloomy life without the option to get high. 8. Your beast has only one fear, deprivation of its favorite fix. It fears only one word, never, as in, never say never. Therefore, that is exactly what to say. I will never drink again, the big plan of AVRT-based recovery. Go ahead. Say it, and mean it. 9. The more you mean it, the stronger you'll feel your beast's emotional recoil. The more pain for your beast, the better for you. Say it again, and believe in yourself. I will never drink again. No pain, no gain. 10. Feel the joy of victory. That is the abstinence commitment effect, ACE. Feel your beast's agony of defeat, the sinking, angry feelings. Shift back and forth between your joy and its agony. As you practice this, you'll draw the fact of full recovery into the present moment. 11. You're fully recovered at the moment you say you are. Others will catch on in due time. 12. Recovery now may seem premature, impossible, too simple, or too easy. Or it may seem impossible to guarantee anything because the future is necessarily unknown. Or, you may believe recovery doctrines about addictive disease, powerlessness, and one day at a time sobriety. If any of these seem so, go back to number 6. 13. Welcome your beast into your life as a sign of health, and not disease. Welcome your addictive voice as a sign that you know right from wrong. In other words, to your beast, anything that feels as good as its favorite fix cannot be wrong. To you, nothing could be more wrong than drinking. 14. Now, you have two sets of eyes, the eyes of your beast, and your own, human eyes. The view is amazingly different from those polar opposite viewpoints. 15. Enjoy the ACE, but realize that you have brought hardship and broken hearts to others who have cared about you. Building bridges back into the human family is an important part of AVRT-based recovery. Your family needs your support and leadership today and in the years to come. 16. Stay away from recovery groups of all kinds. Set your confidence for lifetime abstinence arbitrarily at 100%. Recognize all self-doubt as your addictive voice. Let the beast count time, and you'll do fine. AVRT-based recovery is abrupt, quite different from the never-ending process of one day at a time sobriety. You are free to declare yourself fully recovered right now, but your beast is pulling hard to reserve your option to drink at some unforeseen time later on. You have already experienced some of the main aspects of AVRT, enough for you to declare yourself fully recovered whenever you like. Of course, it will necessarily be now, whenever that time comes. The problem is, other moments never come to us. We exist only in the eternal moment of now. In addiction, your beast owns the moment. AVRT allows you to rebel against your beast and defeat it in the explosive moment of your big plan. Then, you own the moment for good. When you've gotten your PhD in AVRT, come back to this video from time to time and review this numbered list. Although AVRT is very, very simple, learning it can be tricky at first. This is because your addictive voice uses your own intelligence against you. It even uses your personality, language and thinking voice in order to remain concealed from you. It is ruthless in its pursuit of alcohol or drugs, but it can also be quite subtle, forceful, seductive, persistent, patient, and has many other qualities. Here is a picture of the brain. It has a large mass on top, the neocortex, which supports human consciousness. Underneath is the end of the spinal cord, the brain stem, and the many structures between the brain stem and the neocortex we may call the midbrain. The midbrain manages vital life processes and automatic behavior like heartbeat, respiration, sensory experience, emotions, and survival drives. In a very general sense, the neocortex is the human brain, while the midbrain is the primitive, animal brain. Some identify the midbrain as the beast brain. The brain below is a healthy brain, just like yours. It is not diseased or defective in any way. Your addiction is a natural function of your healthy body. There is nothing wrong with your brain that compels you to get high, nor is there any neurological or physical condition that justifies your continued use of alcohol. Addiction is neither a disease nor caused by one. Addiction is chemically enhanced stupidity, literally crazed pleasure-seeking, that results in a destructive, immoral lifestyle. The disease concept of addiction disguises self-intoxication as an innocent act, and presents the reason you drink, use as a mysterious compulsion in need of medical treatment and exemption from common standards of conduct and decency. You are free to summarily quit drinking, using at any time, but the thought of lifetime abstinence brings you a cringing, sinking feeling. That morbid feeling is a sensory entity in your consciousness we call the beast brain. Your brain is not you, but a part of your body. You are not your brain, but the owner of your brain, a human spirit, self, or identity, that authorizes all voluntary behavior, including your addiction. Your brain is not interested in you or your personal affairs. No part of your brain is out to get you, and no part of your brain will ever come to your rescue. In AVRT-based recovery, you are on your own, with no support, no sponsors, no rescuing deity, no brain to intervene for you. No nothing but your dread of going to the very bad place you fear most, at the bottom rung, the scrap heap, or death. Either you will cling to your precious option to get high or you will remove it from your life altogether. AVRT, as described over the next 30 minutes, is the map that shows you the exit from addiction that has eluded you for so long. It is entirely and solely up to you to take the leap of faith in yourself, into the unknown world of secure, permanent abstinence. You are entirely free to do so, because you are capable of operating independently of your bodily desires. In other words, you possess free will, the ability to choose based upon principles of right and wrong. Key AVRT insight: scientific knowledge of health and medicine, including physical anatomy, brain structures, genetics, family history, dysfunctional families, various kinds of psychology or psychotherapy, religious beliefs or the absence of them, and psychiatric conditions including depression, bipolar illness, ADHD, and other mental health problems are irrelevant to addiction recovery. That you are here, instead of already recovered, is evidence of this in itself. It may be interesting to explore brain structures and functions and their physiological activities in connection with addiction, or you may be intrigued with the complexities of your psyche or mind, but delving into those matters will produce no useful information or insight that will guide you to a prompt and full recovery. In fact, dwelling upon those distracting topics and discussions are perfect examples of the addictive voice. Any thinking that supports or suggests the possible future use of alcohol, or other drugs. It may be difficult to surrender your belief that your addiction is a coping mechanism, an escape from the horrible stress of daily living, or a compulsive disorder rooted in molecular neurophysiology, but as you make that necessary change, you will discover that it is your beast, and not you, that wants to believe in anything that excuses drinking. Addiction is the only disease that produces victims who aggressively claim to have it in the absence of any objective evidence other than the natural consequences of stupidity and immorality. AVRT encourages addicted people to deny addictive disease, and to recognize the disease concept of addiction as nothing more than an excuse to continue drinking. The reason for our abandonment of science, religion, medicine, and psychology is quite simple. They don't work. They protect the option of gratifying relapses, and they divert your attention from the immediate actions that you must take, in order to protect yourself from intolerable future pain. Moreover, those disciplines and bodies of no edge can be easily hijacked by the addictive voice. Of course, there is nothing intrinsically wrong with any of those institutions, it's just that when it comes to addiction, they divert addicted people from immediate, decisive action and leave them open to the pitfalls associated with tentative, one-day-at-a-time sobriety. When the disease concept becomes part of your addictive voice, you will feel like a victim of circumstances rather than someone who is responsible for becoming addicted, staying addicted, and for immediately quitting your addiction, right now, for good. After you have recovered, you may still be interested in why you became addicted and remained addicted for so long in spite of being aware of the enormous harm drinking was causing you. Further study of AVRT may answer some of those questions. Clear your mind of everything you know about substance addiction. For now, forget about the recovery group movement, the disease concept of addiction, brain chemistry, lousy recovery statistics, and nonsense jargon like denial, powerlessness, relapse, triggers, enabler, alcoholic, addict, hitting bottom, and other recovery group movement concepts. Focus only on your use of alcohol, and the painful consequences of drinking. Focus on the obvious. If you're doing something harmful to yourself, wouldn't it be good to stop it? If you have trouble with moderation, why stop just one day at a time? Wouldn't it be wise to quit altogether? Right now, experiment with the idea of never drinking or using again. Never. Think of the pros and the cons. Listen. Listen to your own thoughts about quitting for good. And notice the mixture of feelings you have. Notice that you feel both ways about quitting. This is the meaning of the word addiction. On one hand, you want to quit. But on the other hand, you would like to continue drinking or drugging as much as you want. Forever. You are ambivalent, feeling both ways. Your addictive voice is your body talking to you. In thoughts and feelings, your addictive voice tells you to drink or use drugs. Your addictive voice is the sole cause of your substance addiction. Your addictive voice is the expression of your appetite or desire for alcohol. That appetite originates in the biological, animal side of human nature. So we call it the beast. It's like there are two of you. At cross purposes. In conflict. In mortal combat. Your beast is ruthless. It cares for nothing you love. It wants only one thing. The high. Any reason will do. Good, bad, or indifferent. It will exploit any tragedy. Take advantage of any good fortune. Or ask for no reason at all. It drinks or uses for its own sake. To get high. To feel real good all over, from head to toe. Your beast hides in the dark. You cannot see it, any more than you can see your own eyes. But you can feel it. Beasts have strong feelings. AVRT puts light on the beast, as it hides in the dark. It cannot tolerate for you to see it. It fears being seen for what it is, a rogue, animal desire. It knows that you can kill it once you see it. It fears you, and you can feel its fear. Your beast is a rogue appetite for pleasure, born of synthetic drugs. Your beast expresses itself through your thoughts. It uses mental images you can see, and it uses the same thinking voice that you hear when you read. It speaks with great authority because it is a survival drive. But it cannot act on its own. It needs pronouns. It needs you, your precious I. Your beast's favorite word is I. Without that word, it is paralyzed. When your beast wants a drink, you hear, I want a drink. In AVRT, it, not I, wants a drink. Too bad for it. Do you want to continue drinking? Or, is that your beast? The beast is a master of disguise. It seems to be you. But it is only an appetite for alcohol. You are not an appetite. What could be more impotent than mere desire? You are neither your beast brain. You can say, I am not my body. I am not an animal being. I am the owner of my body. I am the master of my body. I am a human being. Humans dominate beasts, within or without. You are human, intelligent and versatile. Therefore, you have an enormous advantage over it. You control language. You make the rules in your head. You know right from wrong, and it doesn't. Best of all, only you can control your muscles. The beast knows only one answer to any question. One solution to any problem. One action for every occasion. Drink. Your beast is quadriplegic. Poor thing. Your beast can pretend to be anything that you can be, in order to get what it wants. Intelligent. Friendly. Educated. Funny. Determined. Compassionate. Clever. Secretive. Persistent. Patient. Ruthless. Dictatorial. Loving. But the beast is a dumb thing, a party animal. Regardless of its disguise, or how pleasant it feels, it only wants to drink. It is your deadly enemy. Treat it as such. First, think of never drinking again. Now, think of having a drink right now. Shift back and forth. Between quitting right now for good and drinking full blast forever. Notice what is happening to you as you shift back and forth. You are teasing your beast with a delightful relapse, then torturing it with lifetime abstinence. Shame on you. Beasts have feelings, just as you do. When you think about drinking, you may feel anxious. You know the likely, ugly consequences. But at the same time, it feels pleasantly aroused. Only you can remember the bad times. It remembers only the good times. It never learns. It will be jealous of people who drink or use without problems. It will resent people who interfere with its supply. It will feel joyous when you consider drinking or using. It is horrified at the idea of never getting high again. It is very frightened of you. It wants to survive. It knows what you are capable of doing. Your beast is grateful for the recovery group movement. If you don't go to meetings, and get a sponsor, and do moral inventories, and share, and make amends, and turn your entire life over to the endless process of recovery, and keep coming back, then you will drink. Whoopee, says the beast. If you are powerless, then it can be your higher power. One day at a time. For the rest of your life. It likes the disease idea, in which having a drink is called having a relapse. It likes to have a place to mingle with other beasts. It feels safe where right and wrong are replaced by addictive disease, and where commitment to permanent abstinence is a symptom of that same disease. It notices that few who attend meetings stay sober for very long, and gladly accepts that relapse is a normal part of recovery. Aside. It wants you to think your addiction is a mystery. A disease, a symptom of maladjustment. A spiritual deficiency, or anything but what it is, the ultimate self-indulgence. One day at a time? How does your beast feel about quitting alcohol or drugs just one day at a time? Compare that to quitting once, and for all time. Feel your beast cringe. Better yet, how do you feel about staying sober, just one day at a time? The word is insecure. But how would you like to end your substance addiction for good? How would you like to get on with your life as a normal person, who simply never drinks or uses? The word is hope. In Rational Recovery, we suggest that you make a big plan. A decision to totally abstain from alcohol, forever. A big plan is very simple, but not all that easy. For example, ask yourself, can I really make a decision right now that I will never drink or use again? Never? Now, listen to the answer you hear in your head, the one that says, never say never. You can't tell what you will do down the line. Once again, notice that uneasy feeling. If you are practicing AVRT, that voice and feeling is not you. It is your body talking to you through your addictive voice. Your beast is just doing its job. It intends to survive. Even if you do not. It is a worthy opponent. But humans prevail over beasts. Do you want to make a big plan? Are you ready to make a big plan? Such suspense. To drink or not to drink? Yes. That is the question. And listen to all the commotion in your head. If I could make this decision, I wouldn't have a problem in the first place. I could say never, but I would just be lying to myself. And if I say never, and then go ahead and drink, I'll feel like a failure, so I would just be setting up a big fool for myself by saying never again. And who's to say that I have to abstain? Lots of psychologists say abstinence is unrealistic, and scientific studies show that many people with drinking problems learn to drink moderately. They kind of mature out of it. And even if I quit for good, how do I know my life would really be much better? I could see maybe 6 months, and if I was doing okay by then, it would be obvious that I would remain abstinent, because it would be stupid to start drinking again if things are going better because I'm not drinking. I might eventually have to give it up altogether, but right now I'm under incredible pressure from all sorts of things, and it wouldn't be good for me to undertake something as significant as a big plan without really giving it some serious consideration and picking a time when things are going along more steady than they are right now. And actually, things can go on this way for a while, nothing really terrible is happening, and I can live with myself even if others can't, and if I am careful to not really overdo it and drink more responsibly, I can still have some when I can really enjoy it without really causing big troubles. I know if certain things happen or if I get to feeling a certain way I will definitely drink, so there's no use being perfectionistic about this, and besides, I can cut back using some of the AVRT stuff to control how much rather than whether I drink. This AVRT is probably good for people with problems that are more serious, or actually less serious than my problems. Maybe if I get out to meetings that will settle me down and make me really conscious of the bad consequences of drinking, and I can get some support there and maybe straighten some things out about me that are driving me to drink so crazily. This big plan thing is too abrupt and there isn't really any proof it works because RR hasn't been around that long, and the experts are really divided about the best way to approach sobriety in the first place. Actually, the big plan is probably the best idea of all, but it just doesn't come naturally, and there's no point in doing something unnatural because you can't live up to it down the line. Blah, 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 said the beast. Definition review. Addictive voice, any thinking or feeling that supports the possibility of any future use of alcohol, ever. There is only one possible time to make a big plan. Right now. In AVRT, time does not exist. We know that the beast, which resides in the midbrain, has no perception of time. It lives as a speck suspended in eternity, with no memory except the memory of pleasure, and with no comprehension of the future, functioning in the endless now to protect its supply of survival stuff. Therefore, now is never an acceptable time to make a big plan. Your beast's only fear is of deprivation of what it thinks it needs to survive. Its job is to block you from depriving it of alcohol or other drugs. It has been succeeding. If you wait until tomorrow, it will still be now, only then. The decision will be no more easy then, than now. It would seem much easier to make a sincere commitment to totally abstain for 200 years than to say never, ever again. Try it. Make a plan to resume drinking in 200 years. Decide exactly what you will drink, or use, in 2217, to celebrate 2 centuries of abstinence. See? The beast is quite stupid. So you can trick it this way. But your beast can live comfortably with a plan for 200 years of abstinence, even though you will be dead by then. It just doesn't get the time part. It is functionally immortal, and doesn't understand that you will die. To your beast, time is just a commodity to wear you down, to tire you out, to look for perfect opportunities, and to shorten the days, so that it will not suffer deprivation for long. Know that. You are armed for the kill. Kill? In a manner of speaking, yes. Your beast is a part of you, an intimate part that has been with you for a long, long time. It has been with you during some of the best moments of your life, and some of the worst, always as a friend, to celebrate the good times, to relieve the humdrum times, to calm you and soothe you during the bad times, and to enrich the simple pleasures of life. It brings out the best in you, or so it seems at times. It is a companion for lonely times, and a coach for social times, a doctor who knows what's best for you, and a pal who really cares for you. It talks in you and we, just like any other friend. And it always has the perfect solution for any problem you ever have. How could you turn on your old friend, betray it when it has been so faithful to you? How could you kill such an innocent thing, that only means to help? Killing is too extreme, says the beast. But look what it's done to you so far, and think of what it still can do to you. How far will you let it go? If you listen carefully, your beast will reveal its innermost secret. How to kill it? Never say never, says the beast. Get the message? Are you ready to make a big plan? It's entirely up to you. But the only time you can do it is right now. Why now? Because it's always now. If you make a decision to quit tomorrow, it will still be now. And once again, your beast will say, why now? Why never? Why not just one day at a time? And you can keep coming back to the problem. Forever. Think it over. You need not respond immediately. But if you are ready, go ahead and keep listening. This is not an experiment. Here is how to make a big plan. Half-hearted plans to quit for good won't do. It's all or nothing, like jumping off the high dive. There's no turning back. Now, think about the meaning of each of these 5 words. I will never drink again. I am in control of my muscles. Therefore, I call the shots. Will is just my ability to make a decision, which requires no power. Never means eternity, forever, to the last star in the universe. Drink is what I will never do again, which means that this decision is based on my past experience. Feel the discomfort. That is your beast, frightened of you, horrified at what you are planning. Now, think about why you are quitting for good. No new problems caused by drinking, a better life, more education, health, money, normal relationships, whatever you hope for. Feel the hope. They are not an illusion, a false hope, or a pink cloud. Those feelings are you. Trust those feelings of hope. Now, say the word slowly to yourself, with as much meaning as you can. I will never drink again. Mean it. Trust that you will always be able to recognize an inner longing to drink as your deadly enemy. Be willing to let your old friend suffer and die. Look at your hands, which are necessary to consume alcohol or drugs. Understand that they are under your complete control at all times. Your beast has no power over you. It is a quadriplegic which must appeal to you in order to convince you to drink or use. Wiggle your index finger. Now challenge your beast to do the same. Ask yourself, how bad, depressed, anxious, bored, angry, etc. am I willing to get and still not drink? Dry, as bad as I feel. That's how bad I can feel and still not drink. Get it? Listen for the echo. When you state your big plan, you will almost certainly hear some serious commotion in your head. It may be angry commotion, or sadness, or fear, or bald cynicism like, "Oh, sure. A likely story. What a lie. What a lot of crap this AVRT is." That is your beast in action, defending itself against the worst thing possible. You are threatening it, in effect, with death. Fortunately, it is not you. You will survive, but it is certainly upset. Too bad. Now, complete your big plan by saying it again, with meaning. Only this time, add, "and I will never change my mind." Your beast will get the message. Humans naturally dominate beasts, within or without. Congratulations on your big plan. From here on, your task is simple. All you do is recognize any thinking or feeling that even remotely suggests that you will drink alcohol again. The R is AVRT stands for recognition, not removal or reasoning against. Just recognize those feelings and thinking, the addictive voice, and they will fall silent. Only when you engage in dialogue with the addictive voice, will you have white knuckles. You owe your beast no answers, no explanations, no nothing. Welcome your addictive voice in as a sign of health, and not of disease. Your beast is a pleasure-driven survival drive turned south by a synthetic drug that produces synthetic pleasure greater than your other survival drives, for example, eating, sex and safety, even breathing. The desire to have a ball and feel good all over is no disease. It doesn't give up easily, and it is a strong opponent, but it is utterly powerless. When you feel its struggle within you, it is only your old enemy having a hard time with its new master, you. Your beast activity will taper off and within a matter of weeks or months abstinence will be effortless. From time to time, your addictive voice will spike, and you'll feel flooded with the desire to drink, and plans to drink will pop into your head uninvited. You have nothing to fear because you are now objectively recognizing a desire that once seemed to be your own. What could be more impotent than mere desire? AVRT-based recovery is exactly as difficult as you believe it will be, and it will take exactly as long to complete as you choose to make it. You are recovered at the moment you say you are, and others will eventually have to recognize that fact. It's split. You are not your body, but the owner of your body. You have a dual nature, both human and animal. Your bodily desire for the high life has overtaken your human, rational identity. It is not you that wants to drink, for you are not a physical being, but a being that exists only in human consciousness. If you feel deprived of your favorite fix, you aren't being deprived of anything, but your beast sure is. Too bad for it. Poor thing. Rub it in. Gloat. AVRT-based recovery is recovery with attitude. If you aren't going to drink or use anymore, what would your purpose be in attending recovery meetings? You will be surprised and fascinated at how much of your thinking is actually your addictive voice. You may be stunned to discover how much recovery movement concepts have become part of your addictive voice, paving the way for more drinking or using. In fact, your beast will use a 12-step program as its strongest ally. It will yearn for meetings and tell you that AA is absolutely right, that by taking personal responsibility for abstinence you are proving that you are a very sick person who will inevitably relapse. AVRT can be summarized as a subroutine in a basic program. 1. I never drink. 2. Any thinking or feeling that supports drinking. 3. Go to 1. Stay away from recovery groups of all kinds. Set your confidence for lifetime abstinence arbitrarily at 100%. Recognize all self-doubt as your addictive voice. Let the beast count time, and you'll do fine. Congratulations. You have earned your PhD in rational recovery. You are now entitled to declare yourself completely recovered from alcohol addiction. I invite you to reclaim your life from addiction and defy the recoveryism that has kept you hostage to the beast so long. If you know you'll never drink again, then you are recovered as I am. If you feel good right now, trust your feelings. They are not a pink cloud, denial, or a honeymoon. They are the authentic you, with new hope for your future. I have named these good feelings the Abstinence Commitment Effect, ACE. You have completed the crash course. Enjoy. AVRT registered draws full recovery into the present moment, while others leave the matter of full recovery for another day, one day at a time. If you are fully recovered, you will have no purpose in attending recovery groups or addiction treatment services. Plans to continue recovery group participation or addiction treatment directly contradict your big plan, which is, I will never drink again. Therefore, severing now from AA and substance abuse counseling will set the stage for independent living. Your farewell to this addiction is clear, forthright, and final. In doing so, you will likely feel the uplifted feelings of emancipation we call the Abstinence Commitment Effect. Declaration of Personal Independence. There's a lot at stake in addiction recovery. Everything is at stake. Your happiness is at stake, your health is at stake, your family is at stake, your survival is at stake. Although AVRT-based recovery is simple, elegant, and quite easy, the beast of addiction is a worthy opponent, and the addictive voice can be quite elusive. After all, the beast is a survival drive that has no intentions of rolling over for you. The addictive voice speaks with godlike authority, and very often seems to be you. Protect yourself against continued addiction. Digest in-depth articles on AVRT-based recovery. Consolidate your gains here and make them the core of your character. If you consume even one more drop of alcohol, or one more dose of your beast's favorite fix, you may not properly call it a relapse. You will have broken your word of honor to yourself and to the human family, a very serious, sobering incident. Your beast will smell blood and strike hard with the idea that you're an alcoholic, powerless, in denial, and so on. You should strike back even harder, reaffirming your big plan, and learn from a very serious mistake. Your beast is reading this as if it is a rehearsal of your next relapse. As you can see, the beast of addiction is a worthy opponent, but from here on in, every drink is in violation of your once-in-a-lifetime big plan.